Hey guys, Jay back with another Fire Emblem video. Today I want to bring your attention to something. Next year will be Fire Emblem's 30th birthday, which means we might get something as fans, or we might not. Maybe some Figma figures or other goods to buy, or maybe free DLC, or anything else really we could only imagine. But as a Fire Emblem fan, I wanted to discuss what I want, and it's a bit off as it's something for Super Smash Bros. I want Smash Bros to sell DLC of the Fire Emblem lords and protagonists. And before you get mad at me and just boo me off and click off the video, just picture this. Marth, Roy, Ike, Lucina, Robin, Corrin, and Chrom are all in Smash. And most other characters are represented by spirits, and that's fine. I found some battles fun. But it bugged me on how low the rep was in Mii costumes. I mean, as far as I know, there are only Chrom and the Black Knight. So I came up with an idea. Since most characters use a sword, why not make them into Mii sword fighters? The thing might be silly as there aren't really enough Mii sword fighter moves to make them all unique, as there are only 4 interchangeable moves with 3 options each. But I thought I'd give it a try anyways. Okay, since Marth is already a fighter, we'll move on to the next characters created, Almond Celica. Alm's armor is pretty simple, as he's a boy from the village, but his sword is unique as it's also a falchion. Now I'm not here to talk about history or anything, but as far as design-wise, I believe Fire Emblem Heroes has the best designs for Super Smash Bros., as the older designs, while they look great, are a bit outdated. But I am here to discuss the moves. To start Alm off, we'd give him Blurring Blade, Gale Stab, Stone Scabbard, and Counter. And I think it's safe to say all sword users may use Counter, as it's almost every Fire Emblem character's move. I know Robin doesn't really have one, but he's a unique fighter. Next would be Silica. I guess Shuriken of Light for magic, Gale Stab, Skyward Slash, and Counter. For Silica, it's a bit harder because whenever I picture her, I always picture her as a mage. But she does use a sword in Fire Emblem Warriors, so I guess she gets a slight pass on this one. The next characters, while they are just in Marth's game and not really the main characters, I kind of wanted to include them because I feel like this would help because they are custom characters. I'm talking about Chris, male and female. I would count their moves as the same. I know their art depicts the male as a mercenary and the female as, I think it was a Myrmidon. But I would still keep their moves the same. So to list them off, Blurring Blade, Airborne Assault, Stone Scabbard, and Counter. Next up is Seliph, and as I go down the list throughout here, it's a bit hard to give these people moves because Blurring Blade is a repeatable one, but that's because some of the main neutral moves are kind of hard to give out. So unfortunately, Seliph is going to have to get Blurring Blade as well. Gale Stab, Hero Spin, and Counter. Leaf is up next, and because he does have the Light brand, I'm going to give him the Shuriken of Light, just as a little reference. Airborne Assault, Stone Scabbard, and Counter. Eliwood is next, and he would get Blurring Blade. This one would probably make the most sense as he does use a heavy blade. Airborne Assault, Stone Scabbard, and Blade Counter. Next up is Lynn, and I actually get to change her first one as she is the Lady of the Winds, so I gave her Gale Strike, Gale Stab, Hero Spin, and Counter. Erica is next, and I'm not gonna lie, I never really decided to take Erica's route. I always went with Ephraim's. I see her in Heroes and I have her, so I kinda know what to give her. But I really don't know what kind of swordsman she is, so for her I'm just gonna give her Blurring Blade, Gale Stab, Skyward Slash, and Counter. Ryoma comes next, and he does have a 2-ranged weapon, so I will give him a Shuriken of Light as a reference to that. Airborne Assault, Stone Scabbard, and Counter. Xander comes up, also with a 2-ranged weapon, and I gave him an interesting moveset. I didn't really want him to recover that well because Xander is on horseback, so making that a small reference by giving him Blurring Blade, Chakram, Stone Scabbard, and Counter. The Byleths, as much as I would love to have them as DLC fighters of Wave 2 or whatever, if they just happen to not, I'd put them in. I gave them Gale Strike, Gale Stab, Skyward Slash, and Counter. Rowan and Liana, or Liliana? I'm pretty sure it's Liana. I could get those wrong, but they weren't really that interesting to me, but it'd still be great to see them. I would not complain. I'd give them the same moves: Blurring Blade, Gale Stab, Hero Spin, and Counter. Moving on to another one, Alphonse. It would be great to have Alphonse in because, oh boy, does Heroes not get enough credit that it deserves. Now, I'm not saying it's the best Fire Emblem game ever, but I feel like people don't really give him a chance. So for Alphonse, I'd give him Blurring Blade, Airborne Assault, Skyward Slash, and Counter. The final character that I put in here is actually going to be a Mii Gunner, and that would be Kieran, the main character from Fire Emblem Heroes, the Summoner. And for Kieran, I would give him Charge Blast, Flame Pillar, Lunar Launch, and Absorbing Vortex. For Kieran, I didn't really know what kind of design I wanted to give him, well, in my head that is. I feel like as a main character, he always has his hood on, and that's to conceal gender, because obviously, well, we're all playing and we're all different genders and we all self-identify as something else. But I feel like for Smash Bros, maybe he should put his hood down. That way we could have the Mii characters show their face. Just add a bit more of customization to Kieran. And for his arm, I know the Mii Gunners all have guns on his arms. I think it's pronounced the Breedleblick. We can just modify that so that it's now on Kieran's arm, which would be nice. Maybe he would have an alternate headpiece, one that has a hood, but a headpiece that probably doesn't have one. I mean, maybe the hood can be optional. You know, it doesn't really matter. But I feel like maybe it should just be on the back of the costume. That way, if the Miis have any hair, it'll be just a hood, like how Robin has it. As far as design goes, like I've said before, all of these characters, I hope they would get a Fire Emblem Heroes type of design. I try to post mostly that. I think the exception was Lynn, as I really do love Lynn's Fire Emblem Warriors appearance rather than her Fire Emblem Heroes appearance. And she does have many Fire Emblem Heroes appearances, but I like Warriors the best. These have been my thoughts and takes on the characters of Fire Emblem to appear as Mii outfits for Fire Emblem's 30th birthday. It would be a dream come true to see all of these characters fighting, even if it were just because of Mii costumes. I'm Jay, and this has been Fire Emblem Convergence. Please like and subscribe, and comment down below if you agree or have any more ideas. I try to keep it short for practicality, but it'd be great to hear any other ideas you guys have for any other character. I really wanted other characters to come in like Ephraim and Hector, but I couldn't think of a great idea to incorporate the lance and the axe, because the Mii sword fighter just would look kinda wonky with those kinds of weapons. Alright, catch you later.